Morning, Yosef here, and Ray.
Good night, Ray.
What's up? We were just watching the Minion video, and, excuse me, and also I was just eating ice cream. But listen, we got to the torture scene, and we were like, we would be incredible torturers because we would basically analyze the MBTI type, and based on the MBTI type, we would, what?
We would know how to torture.
We would know how to torture. Because we would say, ooh, you're an ISTJ. I'm going to put on one brown sock and one red sock. And the guy would go crazy. So we're going to basically go through all the different types, and we're really going to break down how we would torture them, and why it is we would torture them. So the important thing to realize is what we're really going to do is we're really going to try and shut down their main function. So we're going to start, let's say we're talking about let's start with the people that lead with FE. Okay, so let's see an ESFJ, they lead with FE. So they're the type that kind of are a little bit dependent on everyone else's feelings around them. Because depending on everyone else's feelings around them is going to affect how they feel. That's basically how FE is. They could tend to be very manipulative. They could be very sweet, but they could be very manipulative if they're unhealthy. And what I would do probably is I would probably blindfold them. And I probably would put, like, their child in front of them, and the child would start telling them all of their issues. But then I would put inside of their mouth, I would fill it up with, like, towels and stuff, and then, like, tape it shut, and there'd be nothing they'd be able to
I hope you meant paper towels, because towels would not fit.
I'm sorry, guys, let me just clean that out. And, right, paper towels. And, okay, let's take somebody else. Let's take pick one.
Another FE?
No, let's pick something else. Different function.
Okay, let's take a TE.
TE.
An ENTJ.
An ENTJ. Okay, so they lead with the TE. TE function is basically kind of they believe in the opinions of everyone around them, kind of, and they will put their opinion. They tend to put their opinions on you a lot, and they like to kind of control people sometimes. They're nice. They can be really great people. They're policemen sometimes. I just met an ENTJ policeman at Dunkin' Donuts. He wouldn't give me a PBA card. That's a different story. Anyways, they could be controlling and
manipulative. They're very good at manipulating.
Very good at manipulating.
Okay.
Not that any of us were ever manipulated by an ENTJ.
Right.
Anyways, so
okay, yeah.
Okay, back to the video. So what would we do to them? ENTJs.
Okay, so
she's better in this department. The ENTJ
I'm
department.
totally, because Yosef's never met ENTJs, but I've met a number in my life.
Sorry.
Okay, so so what I would do to an ENTJ to torture them is have someone constantly tell them, "You suck. You suck. You suck."
Would you like to do that? Because if we know any, we could just... Okay, and we would also make them be under our control. There's no TE leadership over us. We dominate you.
So we bossing them and forcing them to do things. Yes.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible. Let's take an ISTP. They lead with a TI function. They like to just kind of wander around and think they're very smart. They have a really good grasp of, like, how things grasp of how things work. For example, I just got locked. We once got lucky. We just kind of and managed to open. But ISTPs will naturally look at this.
We once got lucky. I got lucky.
They'll just look at this and they'll just know how it works. And they'll be like, ching, and they'll nail it in one shot. Let me just put this back. So,
like, they'll remember how it feels, and they'll remember, like, how it looks and all that, all those details.
So what we really want to do is we want to shut down their ability to think. So I would put them in a room with a lot of light, and I would just blare music. I'd put in earphones. I did music in the background. It'd be flashing lights. And we would basically disrupt their main TI function, being able to think, and then we would make them go out of their mind. The next person we would use...
This reminds me of the ISFP. ISFPs love to imagine, they love to create, they love to do things in their mind.
Yeah.
So if you put them, I think a good torture would be to put them in a black room, no colors, no stimulation, nothing. and tie them in chains, so that they can't even like make up a dance or something. So yeah, that's the idea.
Interesting. I bet you also ISFJs. Sorry, ESFJs with you with that FE. So they kind of like need people and need other people's feelings and stuff. So if you'd also like kind of just you could overwhelm them so easily. You just put loud screaming and all that kind of stuff. It would drive them. It would drive them absolutely.
I have the ISFJ.
ISFJ.
You have to force them to watch movies.
First of all, you have to unorganize their whole house. You have to basically make things a mess, make things out of structure.
I don't necessarily care.
ISFJs are basically the ISTJs, but they have
they're a little bit more flexible because they kind of like...
A little more flexible when it comes to feelings, not when it comes to rules, though.
Not rules, but when it comes to messing the house, they're okay.
Really?
They're a lot less... Yeah, they're a lot less structured than the ISTJ.
Okay.
They're a lot less... No, they're structured, but they have a hard time following through with it. Like, they'll come up with these structure ideas.
Why? Because the feelings look like getting in the way?
But, yeah. They focus on helping people and everything. So what you would have to do is make them watch movies about, like, documentaries of, like, terrible, terrible things.
Like the people... And, like, really... Things that are, like, really, like, against the law. Like, a person gets in trouble for, like, thinking the wrong thing. Things that are social policies that have gone rogue. Yeah. And show all the victims, make them all sad, and then turn to them and be like, rules are meant to be broken. People are meant to be tortured. There's nothing you could do. And they'll be like, no, they'll be more like, because they have the introvert. Alright, ISTJs.
You said ISTJ, you would put on 2 different color socks.
Yeah, but let's be a little...
You had one for ESTJs. You had a good one for ESTJs.
ESTJs lead with TE. Oh my gosh, yeah, I just feel talking to a policeman ESTJ. They, like I would kind of like not let them talk, and I would just tell them all of my opinions in their face, but like opinions that I know are opposite of what their opinions are, and I would just go at them, and then they'd be like, and they would go crazy because they need to argue their opinions, they need to bring the opinions out, and I'd be like, there's nothing you can do, I can control you under my what? Rain?
Whatever.
Rain. Okay, but I want to go back to ISTJs for a second, but ISTJs
You're obsessed.
Could be great to torture because they're so structured. And ISTJs are actually the exact opposite of ENFPs. I'm an ENFP. She's an INTJ.
Okay.
So we're actually, ISTJs and ENFPs are actually on opposite ends of the spectrum. So we're totally different. I'm extroverted, they're introverted. I'm intuitive, they're very concrete, sensory, data-based. I'm more of feelings and making decisions. They're more, the right thing to do is to, not to make fun of teas. And then I'm just like, let's do it. And they're like, okay, let's do it now. But I already did it. I want to do it now. You know what I mean? So, and even in terms of functions, like, they lead with this, like, sensory kind of getting things done, accomplishing. They'll try and fix you sometimes. So, if you put, like, I was just talking to someone that I know who works in school, and it drives him crazy because, I mean, he's gotten over it, certainly, but it drives him kind of crazy because he goes into the room and he sees certain things that need to be, like, fixed and cleaned, and he kind of has to, like, bite his tongue. The same way when I see certain people being hurt, or certain forms of abuse, or certain, like, I gotta, like, bite my tongue to not do anything about it. So, one way to really mess with an ISTJ is to really put them in a place of no structure. Put them in a room, we're gonna take you out to torture you at 8 p.m. today, but then the next day we'll come out at 3 p.m., and 7 p.m., and 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. Oh, now we're gonna change you. Oh, wait, actually we're gonna do it later. Oh, now we're gonna change you. And then we totally dress them up all over the place for rogue.
What about ENFP? ENTP.
ENTP. Ooh, ENTPs. Interesting. ENTPs, they love to their imagination goes. And they find, like, humor in very, 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 how would you say it? They find humor in
very unexpected places.
But also, like, in a thinking way. Like, they
They have like a quirky sense of humor.
Right.
It's different.
So, first of all, ENFP, ENTP, we lead with an NE, which means that we're extroverted too. That means we're kind of exploring our surroundings, making connections. We need to be. You lock us in a room, first of all. We're gonna go rogue. I mean, especially in FP, if you lock me in a room, I mean, if you lock me in. I used to have a nightmare as a kid, like one of the Star Wars movies. They were lying in that metal thing that's shaped like the body.
Hey, don't spoil it! Don't spoil it! Don't spoil it!
No, it's
I'm about to watch it.
Old one.
Still, I never watched it. I'm about to watch it.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but you know the metal. Alright, I'll stop. So claustrophobia, right? Oh, it's horrible. We need to explore. I mean, this is also really true with the ESFPs and ESTPs. Again, at least with SE, going and partying. I mean, we party in two different ways. I kind of party with imagination. They party more with, like, sushi and food and steak and meat and girls and clubbing and all that stuff. So, you don't want to lock us down. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you do not want... And also, you don't want to tell us what to do. You do not want to tell... See, S and N are a doing function. T and F are a kind of experiencing function. You don't... Someone who leads with sensory or intuition, but in an extroverted way. That means they're going and doing things. And in an extroverted way, they need to go outside. They are the most claustrophobic. And you kind of... They're a good example of somebody who you don't want to lock them down. So an ESFP, ESTP, ENTP, ENFP, all these people who lead with NE and SE, what I would do to them is I would totally shut them down, lock them in a place, no excitement, nothing, black room. I would, I'd feed, I'd feed them like really crappy food. I'd like, at times I'd blare music in their ears just because it sucks. Like, blaring music in your ears sucks for any combination. Like, and for them, I'd specifically just amputate their legs. It's like, okay. Anyways, so I think we're really getting to the bottom of all the different letters. So any other letters that we missed?
Yes, we missed INTP.
Okay, INTPs. The way I would trigger INTPs is, first of all, I would control them. I would tell them what to do. NIs and SIs both are doing functions, but in an introverted way. That means they embody the idea. Oh, I feel like I should do this, or intuitively I think I should do this, or sensory I think okay, I'm going to embody that idea, and now I'm going to go do it. They move with, like, almost like they've been thinking about it for a week. They move with believing in what they're doing. So they need to be in control, even more than the ESTP. See, ESTPs, the people who lead with SE and NE, so they don't need as much to be in control. They do, but they really also just need the extrovert. They need the excitement. They need to get out of the box. SINI is more of doing things. They have to... So if you kind of take over control and you create havoc in their place and you don't listen to anything they say, they're gone. INTPs, you also could kind of mess with their T function. Throw out facts that aren't true. And they do when they be like, she's an INTP. So for example, like,
I'm an INTJ.
INTJ, I meant. I'm talking about INTJ or INTP?
INTP.
Oh, I was talking
INTJ. Okay, so I was thinking I could relate to that.
INTJ. So I'd be like, yo, you know, like, there's a word in the dictionary that commonly is known as flamboyant, but it means is to articulate something in a very, very loud way.
And She'd be like, bullshit!
So I'd be like, oh, speak to the hand. Like, because we're not listening to your opinion right now. They'd be like, and then I'd be like, is that accurate? Because I was just we'll get it later. Alright. ISTPs lead with, again.
You did ISTP.
INTPs.
INTP.
So it really doesn't really make a difference because, again, we're hitting the main function. The main function of ICPs and INTPs is both going to be TI, which means inner thinking, which means you want to blare music, and you want to cut down their thinking opinion. Also, you can put in their ears like speeches and audio recordings of like certain very opinionated people that are really. I mean, truth is, they won't fall for that because he has a very strong belief system, but it'll bother them probably, right? We want to bother them, want to torture them. And just to throw a note. More present people, sensory people, they actually are much better with pain. It's actually very counterintuitive. You would think the opposite. You would think the more sensory, the more they're going to experience pain. But let me tell you something about pain.
Another YouTube video.
It's very quick. I mean, we're talking about torture.
Okay, fine.
So pain has a certain feeling pain has. People that are F's feelers, they can build it up and make it worse. These intuitive people also have the ability to create imagination, and they blow it up. And that was their laser hair removal treatment, right? And I do horrible with that. Stinging shots, all this stuff. I blow it up. And I actually kind of just was meditating during it and grounding myself. And I grounded myself down at one point for a couple seconds. And I felt the actual pain of what it was on my arm, on my body. And it wasn't so bad. I was like, what's wrong with me? And then like 5 seconds later, I'm back in this NF world of building it up. So you want to torture more the N's and the F's with pain, real pain. That's really how it is. Anyways, we're coming to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, Joseph, check it out, and
Ray.
see you later.